So, if you want more proof that the Batgirl movie was a horrible idea, I'm going to give you that proof.
We also have corny puns for you.
In one singular image.
Don't do it.
Are you ready?
No.
This triggered me. I was triggered.
Trigger
when I saw
warning.
So, okay. In fact, I'm not even going to start at the top of the article. Here we go. If you were wondering, this is why this movie was a bad idea.
Those listening, please look up this picture.
It's like they were like, can we make a suit with the ugliest titties ever in the history of outfits? I don't care if that's offensive.
Apparently you can.
It is the worst costume I maybe have ever seen.
You could call Leslie Grace's Batgirl costume a Leslie disgrace.
It is.
I love that. I'm so proud of you right
Everything
now.
about this sucks. It looks like a really badly done cosplay. Her helmet looks ridiculous. She looks like a blueberry.
This one was better. The motorcycle inspired outfit
Even
was better.
the motorcycle outfit makes her look like she's wearing coveralls at a mechanic shop.
Oh my goodness.
Like, it looks so bad. And then I feel like she kind of looks like she has male pecs instead of like a female body. And that's the whole...
They look like a lady just...
Like, I think that's the motivation behind designing costumes this ugly, is like erasing everything about her being female.
It looks like a woman who gave birth and has saggy titties after giving birth. I'm sorry. It does.
There we go. That's it. The definitive take.
Any other opinions?
No, that's the take.
That's like the first thing I noticed, and that's like the last
We're
thing.
done.
Wait, did she post this herself?
She posted it.
Turn off the stream, Brett. We're done.
It's just I also love like my favorite part is like, imagine being being a Chris Hemsworth or a Henry Cavill who worked really hard to get into shape, and then they just throw fake abs on anyone.
The fake abs look laughably ridiculous on her. Obviously, like, that's stupid.
How vain is Batman and Batgirl that they're gonna be like, I just want them to know I'm jacked.
And the bat nips? What if they did the bat nips on a female costume? That would have been insane.
Like, no, thank you. They don't look like male. They don't look male to me. They look like,
I think that
horribly
looks like,
ugly old female.
That looks like fake silicone pecs that bodybuilders get.
Bat cleavage.
And call themselves natty.
What's natty?
Natural. No steroids.
Got it. Thank you.
Radioactive Girl Scout. Oh, no. Stevie J, what Brett described, is called fried eggs.
LOL.
What?
Dude, like, can you imagine, like, here's the other thing that you don't, like, that they don't always say is, like, a big part of, like, what makes the costumes work when you see them in the movies is the lighting. But I don't even know if lighting and set design can change how bad this looks.
Okay, I'm sending you another where you get a different angle of her costume. And it's harrowing.
Okay.
It's in this tweet.
What, the one with the makeup?
Yeah, but it's a second.
Okay.
I really hope this movie gets leaked one day. Just the raw footage. I want the takes.
The thing is, like, Leslie Grace is an attractive, feminine-looking woman, and they just, like, tried to make her look as horrible as possible.
I'm turning this music off.
Yeah.
See, that was the and this one that looks like they're flattening her to make her look as androgynous as possible.
Yeah, it's disturbing. I really don't understand
she
what
looks like a younger Rosario Dawson.
What is the agenda?
No, I thought she looked like a weird mixture of Zoe Kravitz and Zoe Saldana.
What is the agenda behind making women as unsexy and unfeminine as possible?
Because
I don't like this trend.
Because
it's anti-woman.
Because whether they want to admit it or not, this is still an industry space that's dominated by men, and you can't do anything that makes men happy.
And that tweet said Leslie Grace's Batgirl costume would have fit better in Matt Reeves' Batman universe, since the Batgirl was more practical when in production and filming and grounded in the real world.
Yep.
Even with the leather, like, motorcycle costume, I think, why does it need to make practical sense? Why does it need to be, like, grounded in the real world when this is a superhero flick? Like, she's doing flips in the air on strings. Like, she can just wear, like, a tight-fitting leather outfit, right?
Okay, so here's it. Is it anti-woman or is it anti-man? Is it anti-woman because it degrades the ability for women to be allowed to be sexy on screen? Or is it anti-man because we have to make them this way because we don't want men to have anything they want to that they like to see?
I think it's anti-humanity to masculinize women and feminize men. And that's exactly what they're doing.
Yep.
Within every opportunity in media, that is what they do. They steal from both men and women what makes them powerful.
It's and in these cases, like something like this, I fall into the nefarious category where I imagine that some costume designer was like, well, it can't be a hot woman's costume. Like, think of like the silhouette of Black Widow. One of my favorite things that Marvel did, as bad as the Black Widow movie was, I was surprised that they did the motion graphic for the logo for the film of her walking because it shows the width of her hips, which is unbelievably feminine and female to have the hips that she had and the way that she would walk, which felt very like that they were sexualizing her in a way. And I was actually surprised to see that from Marvel in 2021. Like, you can't have anything that is inherently beautiful and female.
I mean, Black Widow was pretty much the entire roster's girlfriend at one point in the Marvel series.
Right now, it's just seen as degrading and objectifying to just appear as a woman in media. And I think that's absurd. Yep. But again, like, I'm kind of glad if it looks this bad, we didn't have to sit through the entire thing. I'm glad that this project got scrapped because I have a premonition that it would have been shit quality.
Okay, did you guys see that panel on Vice about feminism?
The what? Yeah,
no.
I didn't watch it.
Sydney Watson and Pearlie was on it.
Here's a fair question. Here's a fair question. So, Radioactive Girl Scout says, "Why does she have to be sexy?"
Why does she have to be sexy? It's not that it would have been like contrived sexiness. It's just that Leslie Grace is a sexy woman, and they're actively doing things. They're going out of their way to downplay that and distract from it. I think that's the inorganic way to go about this. If you didn't inhibit her in some way, she would be a sexually appealing actress.
She still looks kind of cute in that picture.
It feels like there should be a middle ground somewhere.
Yeah, but there's not, because these people are insane ideologues.
Yep.
Someone quote tweeted it and said, I genuinely mourn Brendan Fraser getting robbed of a major role, but let's not kid ourselves that this movie would have been sincerely good. Yeah, I think that a lot can be gleaned from the fact that they had costume design this thoughtless and careless. Because, like, how could they have given quality thought to the rest of the aspects of this movie? It was already rumored that getting rid of this film was a quality control thing.
Yeah.
Not even related to wokeness.
It's funny, too, because she is a gorgeous, like, Leslie Grace is beautiful.
And they're going out of their way. It takes a lot to make a woman that beautiful look.
I don't know what you guys are talking
androgynous.
about. Like, I feel like it's still... I can still tell she's a cute girl there.
The helmet is awful.
I mean, she looks like a blueberry. I'll stand by that.
I think it just looks like a Batgirl costume. I don't think it's that bad.
Well, we can agree to disagree on this one. I still would have rather they gone with this one, even though I don't like that one either.
I don't like either one. And the first reaction I had to seeing that promotional picture was, of course, like the same thing.
The first one's even worse. The first one looks like a trash bag.
Yeah. It looks like it's made of like PVC. And then this one looks like styrofoam, in my opinion.
This one, I don't know, it's just an awkward picture where she's just like getting food and she's like,
it looks like it could get sold at Party City.
It's also funny too because it's like the reason you can't do this is because men do want to see these things, right? Men want to see beautiful women on screen. I don't know if it necessarily means that she wouldn't be. I guarantee you she would have still been just as gorgeous when she was not in the costume. It just seems like there wasn't a lot of... I don't know if there's an agenda here. I just think not a lot of care was put into making the costume.
Maybe it's not even that there's an agenda, but this is so baked into the culture right now that it's something that we don't even think about anymore.
Somebody says it's Frost in a bat suit. I wouldn't. That's mean.
There is a war being waged on femininity right now.
Beauty in general.
And beauty,
like, whether they want to admit it or not, there is more. Like, okay, I know that this is not going to be my most popular take, but like, I just don't see these industries as ones where you shoot for average. right? I understand that there's a lot of power now in the idea of people being able to see themselves on screen, but I don't really want to see me on screen. Like, I don't want to see average on screen.
If it's a superhero film, especially, you want to see an extraordinary person.
You're supposed to see the height of what the human being is capable of becoming, which is why I don't want to see beer gut Superman. I want to see...
Or fat Thor.
I want to see ripped Superman. I want him to look like he's on 80,000 just gallons of steroids.
Fat Thor was really a step too far. Because not only was he fat, he was depressed, alcoholic.
And a laughing stock.
They're not doing this...
Like, what the hell are you doing?
But that's the rare example. They're not doing this to the men. Not on the main stage, not the major players.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, Batman is still Batman in good
Thor
shape.
Thor was definitely
but that one example, yeah, but he's hot by the end of it or within 10 minutes of the movie starting.
Yeah, but even after that, they're still laughing at him.
The point is, like, that's not the norm for the male characters. The male characters aren't desexualized. If anything, the male characters are shown shirtless all the time.
But again, I think that the image of a female body is more potent, and it always will be to anybody. And that's precisely why it needs to be inorganically suppressed.
Yeah.
That's my conclusion from this. And you're grossly misusing $90 million if this is all you can come up with.
Yeah. Well, what were they spending it on?
I have no idea. Consultants? So useless consultant class?
No, what are they called? The
consultant class.
No. When you're having a sex scene.
The intimacy coordinators.
Yeah, would have all been...
Hopefully they weren't going to need any of those.
Dude, imagine being an intimacy coordinator.
I when we get gender parity for intimacy coordinators, when are there going to be Chad intimacy coordinators? Are we going to get male intimacy coordinators?
How would that work? Is like keep going.
Yeah. Look. It just seems weird. Like, if the men are supposed to be these ripped examples of like what it means to be a man,
someone said it's Batgirl from Wish.com.
Yeah, then the girls should be equally as beautiful, and their suits should reflect that the way that the masculinity is echoed in the men's suits.
Yeah,
that's just my take on it.
Some people say like, oh, it would look better with special effects on it.
No, okay.
But like, there's a reason this thing got shelved.
That's a fair.
Zaslav watched it and didn't like it.
That is a fair critique. I don't know about special effects, but lighting goes a long way. What you're seeing right now is the harshest, worst lighting you could possibly get. So once you see this, like, you're not going to see her in this outfit in the middle of the day. You're going to see it cloaked in darkness, shadowed, lit really well. Maybe it looks completely different under the lights. I don't know, but doesn't work for me. Just
not a good first impression.
No,
but thankfully we won't be seeing that.
Well, hey, like, maybe they'll buy it, like they'll buy it back and they'll pay the money back to the government and they'll put it out one day as like
oh gosh.
Maybe if Zaslav gets them back in the black somehow and they're like good on money, and then he's like, you know what, as a joke next year for April Fools, we'll release this movie.
Then you're just insulting everybody on it.
It'd be interesting.
I did wonder, like, did Leslie Grace complain about the shelving of Batgirl on the grounds of identity politics? I don't remember her doing that. So props to her for that.
Yep. Creative Juice says, look at modern Sports Illustrated issues, the destruction of Playboy magazine. Sexy women are out. Normal looking 4s and 5s are in.
And Elon Musk, old mother.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the increasingly narcissistic culture that you have to see yourself in everything. We no longer aspire to be more. We have to see exactly what we are. So it's not like you can, like, guys look at Superman and say, gotta go hit the gym, want to get a cape. Like, girls see hot woman and they say, unrealistic beauty standards. Where are her organs? Things like that.
Only a very deranged subset of extremely online feminists.
Those have the power right now. They have the power right now.
Yeah, but I think everybody wants to see aspirational figures on screen.
You would think that they would want to. Like I don't go to movies to see reality. I want to see.
Also, like, I recently saw this graph that I don't know is real or not, but it basically says that no matter where people objectively rate you on an attractiveness scale, people view themselves on the same baseline of self-esteem, of their own like self-reported attractiveness.
In what way?
No matter where they're rated on an objective scale by other people. So really self-esteem
So women have really high self-esteem these days, and that's why they think that all guys
well,
are...
it's men and women rate themselves highly on an average baseline. So self-esteem is kind of irrelevant if everybody exists on the same like baseline of what they believe themselves to be.
Yeah.
Unless you go out of your way to raise your self-esteem, that would put you a leg up on everybody else.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
It ultimately doesn't matter.
Like, it's like when I never thought of it that way. Like, I feel like I objectively look at everyone as like, maybe everyone thinks they're objective in there, but it's also so like personal. Like, everyone's judgments of what other people look like are so steeped in their own opinions about what attractive is that like me and Dane arguing
Being
about
attractive
Brie
as a
Larson.
man is having Bugattis.
Yeah.
I
Bugatti.
still don't get the Brie Larson.
I mean, I joke. That's become more of a meme
Yeah.
now, where it's like, I'm not saying she's ugly,
gorgeous.
but I do laugh at that picture of like her with like the flat ass. They had to have like have like an ass stand in for her.
The one that annoys me the most is AOC. Because she's super pretty. And, and I get that she's annoying if you're a certain kind
Chat
of...
sound off on that.
I don't care. But and people lose their minds over it. And then Alex Stein is like, oh, did you see Latina? And everyone's like, oh, yeah, she's so hot. Like, you guys just want to follow your band of cool
energy.
people.
Well, I think part of it's also
But
like,
also, like,
if you
she's
don't like her and you
it's
follow
okay.
and you follow news that doesn't like her, you're gonna get the worst pictures of her making faces mid sentence and like people post the memes where she's like, yes, like.
I think that objectively attractive women just don't often do themselves favors, especially if they're Hollywood people, because the most annoying thing they've said at the click of a button.
Yeah.
Like, it's
it doesn't
nicer
help
to just
you.
never know.
Maybe just because I'm
context.
from Puerto Rico, where there's a lot of beautiful women and there's a lot of mean people too, that I'm just, these things happen. Sometimes pretty people are mean.
That's true. But
Who
also,
cares?
you're hardwired to assume the best of more attractive people.
That's
Really?
crazy. Yeah. You're attractive people are more inherently trusting, or are more trustworthy, are considered more trustworthy.
If you don't assume those things about attractive people, then you're not the norm.
Maybe.
Yeah. Let's go to super
Well,
chats,
that's
guys.
why car salesmen are usually, they hire good. Look at her. She's a beautiful woman.
Yeah, they're just not really doing her favors.
They don't do her any justice. Like that, like...
How old is she? You said she's like a Gen Z.
No, I think she's millennial.
No? Okay.
She was born... They don't list her date of birth here.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, here... Yeah, 95.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.